Hey guys, hey everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Come on in. Come on in. Get comfortable. Get yourself a snack. Get yourself some sweet tea, some popcorn, because we're going to hear somebody's story time today. So I got Dan coming on from Recovery Revision. He's been stirring up a lot of chaos in the recovery community this last week because he has a different way of recovering. And I have been sitting back and watching people in the recovery community that are in the 12 steps go and bash him and get angry with him and fight him in the comment section because he chooses to recover a different way. Hey, Mike, what's up, man? And so, you know me, I was like, let me get on this fucking action because I want to know how he's recovering. I want to know what everybody's getting so mad about. So he's going to come on tonight and share with us his program that he has designed to help people recover from the disease of addiction. He has a lot different views than I do, and so I'm not going to. This isn't like a debate. Like, I really am open minded, and I want to hear what he has to say, and learn about how he has come to the conclusion of what he's come to. So it's going to be great. I'm excited. I think you guys will enjoy it too. He has like so I guess I'll explain it to you. So I was watching a couple of his videos, and he believes that, what you say out loud and what you think in your mind, it will become to fruition. So if you're walking around and you're constantly saying, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict, my name's Nicole and I'm an addict, then that's all you're ever going to be is an addict, right? You're not going to progress forward past that. And so what I've been hearing him to say is that the words that we speak have power, and that he believes that, addiction doesn't have to be a uncurable, deadly disease. It can be if you believe that, but if you don't believe that, and you believe that you can recover from the disease of addiction, and that you can be totally brought back to the way you were before you ever picked up a drink or a drug, that's what he believes. And he has developed a program, a 9-step program that he is doing with people. He helps some people for free. Of course, he has to make a living because this is his job. So he does charge, but he does a lot of service work for free also, which I do the same things. I totally support that. Like when you're giving of your time and your energy, your time is not free. Time is money, And so, sure, if you're working a 12-step program and you're sponsoring people, yes, that's free. But this guy has taken, the time out of his busy day to develop like a whole system of what helps him stay sober. And that is totally opposite of the 12-step program. So I'm excited. I can't wait to hear more about it, you guys. I'm very curious to know. I'm just waiting for him to go live over on his channel, and then I'll bring him on over here. And you guys know, like, I have been deprogramming myself from the 12-step fellowship for like 4 years now. Not that I have anything against the 12 steps. I still work a 12-step program in my everyday life, but I don't agree with a lot of the things that they do in the meetings. I don't agree with the way they treat people sometimes. And so that's why I've kind of like disconnected from that, and I just do my own way. I do my 12 steps. I talk with my sponsor, but I don't got to go and be in all the meetings and all that, Hey, Roland, what's up? So when I found him on TikTok, I saw a bunch of people in his comment section arguing with him and telling him that he was wrong. How could he down the 12 steps? The 12 steps help people. And that's what a lot of people were not understanding, is that he's not trying to bash the 12 steps. He's trying to share a different way of recovery. And if you haven't been able to find recovery through the 12-step program, then maybe you'll be interested in what he's got going on. So very, very, very fascinating. I'm interested to hear more about it. So he's going to come on and talk with me tonight. His name is Dan. And so we're going to get into that here in a little bit. As soon as he goes live, I'll send him an invite. But what have y'all been up to? How's everybody doing in the recovery? Is everybody staying sober? If you're struggling, let me know. If you're like hitting any milestones in your sobriety, comment that down below too. It is hotter than a motherfucking witch's asshole up in this motherfucker. It's 104 degrees here in Arkansas. 104 degrees. Okay, and it's not just 104 degrees like dry heat or with a cool breeze coming off the ocean. It's 104 degrees and it feels like you're in a sweltering jungle. It feels like you are literally under somebody's armpit all day long. And it's just wet and juicy. I mean, you can't even walk outside. Dude, I'm sitting here right now in my house with air conditioning and I'm sweating. I'm sweating. Okay? Because that's how bad our air conditioning is having to work overtime to fucking keep this motherfucking house cool. It is it's like killer out there, man. People are dying. That's how hot it is. So it's not anything that I look forward to. Hey, Ashley, what's up, girl? It sucks. It sucks. I don't remember, I'm in my bedroom in Arkansas. I don't remember like being this hot when I was a kid. Do y'all remember it being this hot when we were young? I remember thinking, you know, like I would be outside playing and then I would run inside to get my water from my mom and go back outside and play and jump in the fucking pool. It wasn't hot like this when we were kids. Global warming, man, for real. For real, because it was not hot like this. Yeah, man, it's hotter. It's hotter than a motherfucking... It's like crotch hot here, okay? Like, you can't even walk outside without, like, your whole pants and everything, your back, your neck, everything just being soaking wet. It's disgusting. And then tonight, after I get done having Dan on, then I'm going to go over to Tiffany's channel, right? Humid, yes. I'm going to go over to Tiffany's channel, Tiffany... and I'm going to tell my story over there because she was supposed to have somebody on and they didn't answer. And so they stood her up. So I told her I would fill in for them. So yeah, I'm sure that's what it feels like in Florida is what it feels like here. You know what I'm saying? Pretty similar, I think. I was actually watching these shows on TV and they were showing these fish that they pull out of the ocean over there in Florida. And there was this one fish, it was huge. They called it a sunfish. And when I tell you guys, it was as big as a boat. That's how big this fish was. Can you imagine being in the ocean and like swimming with these fish and like one of them coming up underneath you or something? Hey, Dr. Carl, what's up, man? Holy shit, I seen your YouTube and I found you on here. Well, hell yeah. I'm glad you found me. If I do have a YouTube channel, if you guys want to go check it out, I have thousands and thousands. I have 2,000 videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're like bored and you want to like do something, you can go watch a bunch of my crazy videos. So I also make lots of videos over on Facebook Reels, which I have really been liking doing that a lot lately. I just hit 17,000 people over there on Facebook Reels, and it's crazy on Facebook Reels. On Facebook Reels, it's like the wild, wild west. I will tell y'all that right now. Watch out. If you come to comment on my Facebook Reels, there are mad trolls in there. No, I'm still on 0.25 of a milligram. There's so many people on there that like comment horrible, mean, nasty shit. So just be prepared, you know. I can't get to all of them. Like, honestly, I was trying to go through and like get rid of all the mean comments, but there's just so many different videos, and one video got like, it's just crazy. I can't do it. It's too many. It's too many. So hopefully one day I'll be able to jump off subs. I just haven't felt like I was in a good spot to do it right now, especially since I have my son, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, I just feel like I can't afford to be not feeling good and have my kid and then school starting and everything. So I just try to tell you guys the truth of what I'm going through and what's working for me. And that's how I stay sober, is being honest, you know, being honest, taking my medication as prescribed, I do work the steps, I do therapy, not meetings. I do therapy, and like little meetings on here with you guys, but that's about it. I used to do like 12-step meetings all the time, but I really got out of that. It was just not healthy for me. I appreciate it. I'm in the same boat. I don't have the time to be done with it. Yeah, it's just you have to dedicate like a good month to just feeling like shit. You know what I'm saying? Even I feel like even if you taper down like really low, you're still gonna struggle a little bit because it's like a transition that your body's going through, and so that's why I'm just kind of chilling. Now, I'll tell you one of my friends on YouTube, his name is Matt. He has a channel and he was able to get off. My other friend Kevin, his channel's called Kickin' Addiction, and he hasn't gotten off yet either. Hey Holly, what's up, girl? How are you doing? Oh, you did? Well, I've never done that. I've never worked on my own. Um, Because for me, like, if I try to do stuff like that on my own without some kind of outside support from somebody that's been sober longer than me, I will make bad decisions. Because I make bad decisions just still to this day. Like, I honestly have to, like, run stuff by people that I trust just to be on the safe side. I have too much I can't just ignore for weeks, or I'd be done for sure. Yeah, there's a couple things that I wish that my doctor, when I had got on subs, I wish that I had asked more questions. I wish I had asked them about coming off of it, if it would be difficult. But anything is difficult. Like even when I was trying to come off of regular opiates, it was still hard. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, either way, it's going to be difficult. Our jail, here's a joke. 20 girls in 8-person pods sleeping on concrete with no mats. Really? Why? They should at least have like mats to sleep on. In the jail that I was held in, we had too many girls in there too. And so all the girls, there was like 4 people to a cell, and then they had the little opening area right here, and they had girls on mats out there too. Dude, it's no fun whenever you're overcrowded and ain't got nowhere to lay down or have any kind of privacy. I know how that is. I'm just waiting for Dan to come on, y'all. As soon as he comes on, then he'll come up here and I'll ask him some questions, and then he'll share his story, and he'll share about his program of recovery that he's designed. I just thought it was so funny because I was like, what is everybody getting all up in arms about? Because I was seeing like a couple of people that I follow that are like, I really like these people. And they were all getting angry going to this guy's channel, like commenting back and forth, arguing with him in the comment section. And I went over there to check out his videos, and I was like, oh, he has a different way of recovering. That's one thing about people in 12-step programs. Like, when people have another way of recovering, a lot of the time they'll group up and they'll gang up. They'll gang up on somebody. So imagine what that must feel like to be somebody who's new in the recovery community, who's just trying to share like what has worked for you. And you got all these people who are supposed to be in recovery through the 12-step program. All of them are ganging up and coming on your page and like getting mad at you because you're talking about a different way of recovery. Kind of doesn't make any sense, does it? When did you go to jail, Holly? Was it recently? So, like, we should be a lot. I understand that people in the program are very defensive because they are protective over their program. But, like, here's the thing, you guys. There's AA and NA have been established for like years. And do you know how hard it is to like build a program, establish it, and keep it going? That's the problem, is a lot of the time that people will make up different programs, but they can't keep them going. And so people that are in 12-step programs shouldn't get upset, because nobody's going to come and like knock 12 steps off of the where they're at. It's just there needs to be different programs for people that don't recover the same, that don't want to do abstinence. Okay, cool. Here he is. Okay, he's coming on in just a second. I just sent him an invite, you guys. It's 15 months to feel normal. Oh, fine. Oh, are you talking about coming off of the subs, Chris? And Chris, listen to me. Next person I want to get on here is Jason to come on here and talk about his story, because I was just cruising through TikTok yesterday and I fell upon his page because the reason I stopped is because he was telling a story and I saw pain management behind him. And I thought, hold up, man, I got to see what this dude's talking about, And then he started talking about all those pain clinics down in Florida. And I was like, hot damn, dude, I'm going to watch this. So I started watching from the very bottom all the way up to the top. Very, very interesting. Very interesting to me.
There she is. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to have you on. I was just telling everybody
What?
that I was last week. I was looking around and I saw all these people up in arms, and I was like, "What is going on? Who's getting all my people all upset?" And so I went over there to your channel and looked at your videos, and I was like, "Oh, he's recovering a different way. That's why they're upset."
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. And listen to me. I totally understand what you're going through, because when I first started sharing my story, because I started sharing like back in 2016, and I was
Mhm.
on Suboxone and I was sharing about that openly, and people were so pissed. Like, you shouldn't be telling people that you're in recovery if
You
you take
give me
that
so much
medication.
hope.
Yeah, it was bad.
You've been working hard for many years.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
took me a long time to build up to where I'm at.
yeah,
So I'm really
that
excited.
gives
I
me
was
hope.
telling everybody that you have developed your own 9-step, right?
Yeah.
Nine
Yeah,
step
you gonna let me talk
program.
about it? That's exciting, dude.
And I also realized that if I'm hearing you correctly, what I hear is that you believe that what we speak it out of our mouths, it can be manifested in our lives.
I know
So
it to
when
be
we're
true.
walking
I know the
around
science
saying,
of it.
"Do what?"
Yeah, I know it to be true. Like my experience can tell you, and I can give you all kinds of examples of how it could be true in your life too.
Right. And but I don't know like the whole gist of it, but what I was listening to when you were talking is
Yeah,
that I heard you say like that we shouldn't call ourselves addicts, which I do understand. I do agree with that, because I don't like the word addict, because I feel like
me
it's
either.
stigmatizing. I think that
Yes.
when you hear the word addict, I think you think of a person underneath a bridge with a needle hanging out of their arm and a brown paper bag of
Yep.
alcohol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so, anyways, I'm really excited. I would love for
Me
you
too.
to share with us a little bit about like how you got into how your life was when you were younger, how you got
Yeah.
into addiction, and then share with us about how you developed this program, why you developed this program. And if I
Sure.
have any questions, I'll just butt in and ask them. You know what I mean? But
I can
for
do that.
the most part, you have the floor.
Okay, cool. So
Okay.
let's see. Let's start with childhood. I'm gonna just dive right in, and I'm gonna hope that you guys are here to dive deep with me. I want you to try and relate your own story to mine, because we as addicts, we go through similar traumas that cause us to be addicts. And so my journey started. My mom, as much as she loves me, right? She was a hippie, and she had. I'll just summarize it. I had 7 different stepdaddies,
Oh, damn.
and the memories, from. And what I want to say first is children from ages 1 to 7 are in a theta brainwave state. So from a neuroscientific standpoint, you absorb everything you learn. Robert Kiyosaki says this is the reason why rich people stay rich and why poor people stay poor. It's because you download everything around you. Little kids, they operate from imagination land. They absorb everything. They can learn an instrument really quickly. If a mom is Spanish and a dad is English, they can absorb both languages. That's the realm of imagination. That's subconscious. That's what I want you to remember. All right. So my life, 1 through 7. Mom, why are you in the fucking bathroom for 5 hours? Will you please come out? Can I, not really giving a fuck if I would stay out or not? You know, I mean, and I'm not saying that she was neglectful. She always gave me what I wanted, had the food, had the video games, friends if I wanted to stay over, bought catered food to all of the soccer teams and sports teams that I played for. She was a really good mom when she was there,
Mhm.
but she wasn't there most of the time because of drugs. And so I remember all of that. And then growing up, I was into grunge music. So that's where the power of words comes in.
Yeah.
I remember singing, "What's my drug of choice?" You know what I mean? And wondering why when I got into college, here's how it started. So let's go into, now you know that I've been raised around sex, drugs, and rock and roll,
Yeah.
violence. So now moving into adolescence and teens, I want to go try out for American Idol. And I've always had this entitlement, like my gifts are God given, and I'm fated. I'm fated to be this famous musician, right?
I
Well,
understand.
American Idol thought differently, and
My
here's
sister
why.
did American
I
Idol too, though. Like, that's so crazy.
really
My sister is a musician too, and she made it to, like, not the rounds where they go to Hollywood, but like right before
the
that.
producer, the producer rounds.
Yeah,
It's awesome. I didn't make it through. So a guy in a chicken suit made it in front of me, and I didn't make it through.
yeah, that
Crazy.
sucks.
So but here's the point I want to make. I only sang my song 4 times. You become what you do without thinking. Your dominant hand. What hand do you write with?
My right hand.
Okay, I'm left-handed. And why do we write like that? How long you been writing like that?
All my life since I was a little kid.
Exactly. That's the point I want to make. So, um, I did at the time when they told me no, and it broke my spirit. That's when I started doing crack, and then crack led to meth, and meth led to heroin, and then I had to have both. And
Yeah.
so now we can move into more present. Um, what I want you to understand is the traumas, the major traumas that I heard you. You heard me talk about my mom, but those are minor. That's because she still gave me a good life, and she's still my best friend. Major traumas would be her going to rehab and me having to stay with Crazy Mary and her godson, and her godson's a black belt in karate, and he's intimidating, and he forces his shit on me, and I don't want to get us kicked off or censored. So you know where it goes from there. And then,
Yeah.
so that type of stuff, it can haunt you in adolescence. It can make you really feel homosexual, if you will,
I understand.
for a lot
Yeah.
of people. And so that there's the trauma that really didn't allow me to be healed until I did drugs for the first time, and I felt the healing came from the drugs.
Were you
So
able
that
to
was
tell your mom about that when she came back, or did you keep it a secret because you were scared?
I was about 16 when I told my mom, and she got really mad at me and said, that she would kill the person, and if she would have known, and normal mom reaction, she would have. But the dude told me, "I'll kill you and I'll kill your mom." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You better not tell anybody. So there she's coming.
That
I
breaks
could
my
hear it from,
heart,
and I
man.
take care
I
of her
hate
now.
that.
So,
Like, so
so
many people.
my mom's an amputee, so I take care of her now.
Oh,
I've
so
taken
y'all
care
live
of her since I
y'all
was
you
about
live with
15.
your moms, and y'all are together now,
That's
back
what I
together.
want people to know is I live a life of service. I work in respite services, and I take care of my 66-year-old mother. She's an amputee. I'm going to school for coaching. I do this every day. I'm attacking a program because it's autonomous. You can't have a self-governed program and force addicts and criminals into the program. What kind of
I
sense does that make?
totally understand what you're saying. Like, let me. So I live in Arkansas, which is super Bible Belt, and
Mama, come here.
I was a poly substance abuser, addicted to multiple substances, and I was in
Uh-huh.
and out of treatment for 10 years. And the only kind of treatment that was ever even offered to me was abstinence based 12-step treatment. And
Right, me
so
too.
finally, when my son got taken away from me, I had met my husband, and he had tried, he had been on the MAP program for
Okay,
like a
yeah.
long time, and so he had
Hmm.
experience with it. So once I got out of treatment, I got on a MAP program too, and that was the only time that I was able to to put together any kind of like real sobriety time, like where I'm not like abusing my medication or anything like that. So I totally
Yeah,
understand. And that's why I think there should be way more options for people. And I'm a big supporter of like becoming a recovery coach and like doing this for people as you're living.
I'm glad we're hooked up, man. I'm glad
Yeah,
we're hooked up.
I
This is
know
only
what
the
it feels
start.
like to have the recovery community. Like, stop it, Nate. I know what it feels like to have the recovery community on your shit and being like, oh, you're charging people for that. Well, what do you think I'm supposed to do? Like, this is my time.
I'm a Taurus. Not only am I a Taurus, I'm a May 4th Taurus. So May the 4th be with me. Like what I'm looking at, if I'm reading the numerology and all the stars correctly, and I'm
You know,
telling
tell
you
me.
guys this because I want you to connect to your power. I want you to read things and consume things that help you relate because when you relate, you connect to power. And so if you read a horoscope that tells you you're good at this and you're good at that, or you did, then you need to accept that as true in your life. Why not? And so I surely did, and I've read a bunch of stuff where I'm born to be a teacher, and it's helped me really connect more and commit more to my calling.
Okay, well, what I want you to do is tell us about what happened for you to be like, I can't do this 12-step stuff. It's not working for me, and I got to find something different. And how did you do all that?
Okay, so from my first string in rehab at about 19, and I left early, and 12-step recovery meetings and not working, and really here's the problem. It wasn't that I wasn't doing the work; it was that I was doing the work alone with lack of a credible sponsor. So you don't want somebody to sponsor you that is not successful in life. Sponsor means mentor, and not only that, if someone struggled with heroin and they're sponsoring you and you were addicted to meth, um, I don't know, man. I'm on the fence.
I
So,
feel like they
but
can't relate. I feel like people that have never
it,
done opiates
there
really
should
can't
be more
understand.
connection. Yeah,
Right.
it should be more broad. And so, here's what happened. You see the scar right here? I almost cut my thumb off with an angle grinder. I was the addict. Let me slow down. I was the addict that made $50,000 a year as a foundation repair foreman. I was living under a bridge at Getwell and 900 Road in Memphis, Tennessee. Ask Kalen's here. My friend Kalen is here. Kalen, dude, that's destiny, man, that you're here. I've been asking. I need you to go to Getwell and 900 Road and take pictures of where I used to sleep. You walk underneath the underpass and you can take pictures of that. I'll send you some money if you do that.
So
But
you were making all this money, but you were living underneath a bridge because all
here's
your money went to drugs.
exactly. Everybody at the Motel 6 would front me anything I want. And if it wasn't at room 116, it was at room 216. You know what I mean? Like there was different operations going. There was ran by the Bloods and I had credit.
Yeah, me too.
So
I was the same
I
way.
was stuck in this cycle of spending and using where they would call me if I didn't call them and say, "Hey bro, you good? Good?"
Yeah.
And I would get, of course I'm going. I'm on the way. And then people calling, "Hey, can you give me a ride?" I had a car. I'm a functioning addict with a car. I slept under the bridge, partly from couch to couch, from crack house to crack house. I was stuck in this fucking cycle where I couldn't get out of it. So yeah, when I cut my hand and my company paid for me to go to rehab,
Oh, that's
and it
good.
was a $40,000 rehab, and when I got there, they's like, "You'll be back."
Why would they tell you that?
Can you imagine that? Just we got the I got a little cocky. I was like, man, I'm gonna go through this 28 days. I'm gonna absorb it all, and I'm gonna get out. And I was bragging, and they were like, yeah, with that attitude, you'll probably be back.
That's what they tell us too.
Thought
That look around the room. Only one person out of the 30 people that are here will make it to recovery. You know what I mean?
Kaylin said, I testify. Thank you, brother. Dude, I'm sorry for interrupting you. I do that
No, go
often.
ahead. I'm listening. I'm
Dude,
listening.
we got to do a podcast together. You got time for a podcast? I'm about to do a daily podcast. I'm going to
Well,
go.
so I'll tell you this. I manage other people's social media accounts for my job, and then I also work for Dr. B Addiction Recovery here on TikTok.
Okay.
I work for his MAP program and harm reduction program, but I
Okay.
have time during the day because I work from home, so I can always jump on and do a podcast with you guys anytime. Yeah,
This can I use this as a podcast? This
yeah,
is
I don't
amazing. This is
mind. I
great.
don't mind at all. Um, so so you went to treatment for the first time. Did you go? Did you fail and have to go back?
No, so yeah, so continuing on, I succeeded through the program and got out, and I got to Narcotics Anonymous doorsteps, and every meeting in my city had not a. Here's where my dream was more manifested, because I remembered the first trip to rehab and them telling me that, and then when I got to the meetings, I start given I've been meditating and studying neuroscience as a hobby, just an enthusiast for years. I've always been a nerd. So I mean, understanding it intellectually and then going to the meetings and seeing this broken system, autonomous, if I said it right, I've been calling it autonomous, and people are making fun of me. But
I,
uh,
what?
autonomous
How do you say
system
it?
where you got half of the room there that's ready to get out of to defeat addiction, and then the other room there to get out of jail free.
Yeah.
Just get your sheet signed. They're there. They sit like this. But let me tell you something about those people. They have to be there for a year, and their subconscious mind is always listening. And I want to take just a quick. Man, I'm not prepared.
I
Yes, I
remember
am
having to sign.
prepared.
I remember having to sign people's sheets because I would
I
chair
just want to
meetings.
show you. I want to show you right now so that you understand. This stuff is read off of laminated note cards, okay? So when you're listening, you're always listening to them say, hang on just a second. I mean, I've got it memorized. I'm going to recite it for
Rarely
you.
have we seen a person fail that has thoroughly followed our path. I know the AA one.
Based on our experience, we believe that every addict, including the potential addict, suffers from an incurable disease of body, mind, and spirit. That's the beginning of the book. Mind you, I want you to understand this. Suggestion, the subconscious mind that runs 95% of your life, it's always open to suggestion. So in the opening panel, I ripped my cover off. It used to have a cover on it. It's got a suggestive sentence on it. It says, many of us have many books have been written about the naturalness, that's subconscious. Nature is anything subconscious. So many books have been written about the nature of addiction. This book primarily concerns itself with the nature of recovery. A newcomer, please give it a read, is going to say, all right. And it's written in third person. And
Yeah.
when you read this over and over again in third person, that becomes inner speech. In my experience, inner speech and your action, those are the channels of spiritual action, God, whatever you want to call it, Buddha, Allah, Krishna. Alan Watts says you can't get wet by the word water. We're talking about the heartbeat inside your chest, the things you're not in control of, the things that you can credit miracles. That's what we're talking about. So God's action happens when you have the right inner speech and the right action on your part. And so I want you to tune in to the right inner speech, reading that over and over again, inner speech, and then going to a meeting. In the first step, you give away your power. In the second step, the book becomes your power. It's a very esoteric program,
I
and they
know what
tell
you
you that.
mean. So I worked the Alcoholics Anonymous 12 steps for the first 3.5 years of my sobriety. Then I started to like kind of question everything because my internal beliefs didn't align with what I was seeing happening in meetings
Exactly.
and what I was seeing other people
Exactly.
say to other people about their recovery. And then I started realizing that, like, hey, wait a second, I need to change the way I'm talking. I would always tell myself, like, I was always repeating what I read out of the book. Then I started
Sure.
kind of looking at things from a different point of view and trying to be like uber focused and uber positive all the time. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to achieve this.
Mhm.
I'm going to do this. And when I started to change my mindset to focusing on like building myself up, that really, really helped me. And that's why I try to tell other people all the time, like,
Let me tell you
it
why.
changed
Let me
my
show you
life.
why. The science of why that is. The science of why that is. Thought is electric energy. It's electric. You can measure electric energy from your thoughts on an electroencephalograph. All right. When you think a thought or speak a word, because words are an expression of thought,
Mm-hmm.
that's and think about this. You know, the how can voice be recorded? Because sound is electric. Our voices are electric. So when you speak a word, your body, which is your chemical factory, the what creates your emotions, which are subconscious, and you're not in control. Anybody ever said, "Well, I just got to control my emotion"? You can't.
Yeah.
You got to use tools, breath, and consciousness in order to tone down. You can't control your emotion. You'll notice me breathing deeply. Like I'm so passionate about this, I'll have to control my breath in order to speak this. But all right, so when you speak a word, let's just say, look, for the past 20 years, we've had headphones. So let me teach you a neuro-linguistic programming technique that will help you reprogram your mind in months. As I work out, I used to listen to TD Jakes and motivate. All of this motivation is on my tribe's channel. You can get the link to it. But motivation while you're working out, you're speaking the same thoughts. That's electric energy, and you're gonna feel the way they thought.
Yeah.
The way that they're thinking, you're speaking the same thing. You're going to feel the same emotion. It empowers you to take the same actions, similar actions.
Yeah. I totally agree.
I'm telling you, neurolinguistic programming, all I did was model the exact behavior of Tony Robbins and a few other people.
Okay, so tell me what did you do? So you were from the get-go, you were like, 12 steps is not for me. I'm going to do something different. But how did you decide that you were going to do something different and like
Co-create oneness
create?
was born. Co-create oneness was born after 2 years of me consistently doing a routine and noticing the change that happened in my life. So I'll explain it all right now.
Okay.
All right. So when I started, I got charged with a charge in Colorado Springs, and I moved here to change my life, and then got a charge, and I was like, and so I microdosed some stuff, and I had this spiritual experience where I dropped on my knees and I said, God, use me. And so
You
all of this
microdose
led to,
mushrooms.
yeah. And so the next day, yes.
I've done
And
that
so I
before.
saw this video of Jake Ducey, is his name, of how to pray to the universe, and he introduced me to Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard is the mystic from the look. He has 10 books you can read for free on my link tree.
Okay,
So
cool.
um, uh, that changed me from the belief that I was going to go to hell, and it helped me connect to the fact that I can reprogram my mind. Um, so what I did was I created a routine similar to Tony Robbins. He said a morning pop. This book, it gives you all kind of exercises you can do practically to come up with the ideas that gave me my vision. Right?
Uh-huh.
All these ideas came from me realizing there's a problem that needs a solution no one's looking at, and I'm brave enough to address it. And I think I know the ways because I reprogrammed my mind through this Tony Robbins habit. This 20 it started with a 20-minute power hour. I mean an hour power. It's called a power hour. 20 minutes of physical exercise, 20 minutes of meditation, and 20 minutes of reading.
Mm.
That turned into me waking up. I wake up every morning at 3:50. I've attuned my circadian cycle
I
to
saw
to
that.
to
350. Are you fucking crazy?
well, here's how it happens. No, I'm not crazy.
I'm
This
like,
I
damn.
understand, and I'm gonna. I know, right? It's
I could
so easy
never.
once
I
you
mean, I
get.
guess I could. I could. I
You
could.
could. You
I
could.
could.
I'm telling you. But look, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna look. I'll do it right now. Get a pen. You got a pen?
Yeah, I do.
Get a pen. All right. All right. Get your sheet. Get a sheet of paper. Write your name.
Just my first
All
name?
right. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So, all right. Now take the pen and put it in your other hand and write your name right below it.
Hey!
All right. So, all right. All right. Pay attention. This is a powerful insight. Now you know officially how uncomfortable it is to trade something familiar for something unfamiliar.
Yeah.
So it's just hard at the beginning, but here's the thing. Subconscious mind learns through repetition. So the more you do that, if you did that every single day, you would write your name perfectly within a matter of 60 days.
Yeah, I mean,
So
probably less than that, I think.
I took that principle and I apply. Here's what I did at the gym every day. 1% better. One more lap. One more mile. One more calorie burned. One more rep. One more pound. One more. When I get done, meditation in my car. 1 more minute. One more minute. One more thing to be grateful for because I do gratitude meditation where you connect to gratitude first. One more. One more. But I want you to pay attention to why that is. Your subconscious learns that you try one more. You
Yeah,
you you you
keep on
do you
going.
go beyond. Exactly. Exactly. And that's carried into what the life. This is 3 years later. I was 130 pounds.
What?
I'm
How do you?
solid. I swear.
How
I
do
don't
you
know,
help
man. I'm
other
not trying to
people?
brag.
Like when you, so let's say somebody comes up to you and they're like, "I'm a drug addict. I need help, and I want to help, and I want you to help me." Like, how do you? What would you do? How do you get into helping them? What would be the
All
first
right, so
steps?
I'll tell you. I used to fly a sign on one side. It said "Vision of a Big Mac," and on the other sign it said "Anything helps." And so I'm the guy that wrote when I first started my blog. I wrote a thing that said "Homeless Man's Guide to a Better Life," and I give you the guide to go. Like, you really want to do this? Supply this sign, keep the money, and use this percentage 50, 30, 20. Use 20% that you save every day that you go, and you every at the end of every day you save 20%. You use 30% to buy anything that you need. The 50%, you can do things with it. You can invest in things. You can actually keep that too and save it. But either way, no matter what, if you save at least 70% of the money for 10 days, then you have enough money to get away from your city. And that is the primary objective if you're trying to change your life. Inside of your city, you have environmental stimuli that connect you to everything on the outer. You have
I did
memories,
have to get away.
triggers.
I did. I left Hot Springs. I tried to get sober there, but it was like
I'm
too
from
many old
Memphis. That's awesome.
friends. Everywhere I would go, I would see my people that I did meth with.
Yeah,
It was just too much. I had to get out of there. You know?
dude, I get it. Yeah, yeah, dude, it's crazy you said Hot Springs because I used to live in Marion, Arkansas. I'm
Really?
from the tri-state area right there.
Yeah, I grew
Yeah.
up in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and I started getting into I was hanging out with my friends who were manufacturing methamphetamine. And so
My mom
I was
does.
right there with them, you know, cooking up batches. And
Yeah, man.
I had to
Yeah, I
get out of
know
there
the
because I went to
lifestyle.
prison because of it. I caught a charge.
Really?
So that when I went to
Oh,
prison, I came out and I moved here to Little Rock. I relapsed when I got here to Little Rock, but I don't have any ties here. So I was able to get when my little boy got taken from me by Child Protective Services. It was 2 days before his first birthday. That changed
okay.
my life forever. And I was like, I got to do something different because you know how you talk about your mom not being present and stuff. I don't want my son to remember that. He was only one when he got taken from me, and I thank
I
God
feel you.
of that every single
I feel
day
you.
because
I feel
he doesn't have any memory of it. I talk to him about it because I'm honest with him about
you.
everything, but I don't want him to ever feel like mom didn't want me or something like that. You know,
My chest is tightened up because of thinking. I mean, yes, I feel you.
I
I
get
feel you.
really emotional, and that's what I'm going to be honest with you. 12 steps are great. Recovery's great. Whatever's great. Like my son saved my life. He was my motivation. I didn't want to get sober for me. I didn't give a fuck about myself. I didn't care about changing, but I cared about my son enough to want to change. And so I've used my son as motivation for the last 7 years until I finally started, like I said, stepping away from like that, the fellowship and coming out on my own and saying, you know what? Like, I don't believe everything they believe. I do support harm reduction. I do believe that
Exactly.
some people can use drugs and they're not, they can say they're heroin addicts. A heroin addict, maybe they can't use heroin anymore, but if they want to drink alcohol and that doesn't affect them, I don't think
I
there's
got a
anything
great
wrong
way
with
to
that.
say that. Yeah, I got a great
You
way to
know?
put that. The thing that you did that took your mind away from you and made you make horrible decisions, you can't do that ever again. But that does not include a plant or something that's legal that you
Yeah.
can practice, because temperance does not mean abstinence. So look, belief precedes reality. If you believe and you grasp a hold of the belief, and you know that if I believe this fully, my action will follow, then you just believe. I can have a drink with friends and be in control. I can have a drink with friends and be in control. I can go out and have a great time and have control. And you
Yeah,
believe
and
that, and your
I
action
have
will
had
follow.
control. Like I have since I kind of got out of that brainwashing, like I have been able to like have a glass of wine at Christmas with my family and not fucking freak out and go relapse. You know what I'm saying? Um
Yeah,
and it's because like I don't want to get fucked up anymore. I don't want to like be I don't want to be checked out of life. I want to be present. I want to see all the cool stuff my
exactly.
son's doing. I
For
want to help other
sure.
people and learn about from other people like yourself. And so because I changed that, my goal before was to get so fucked up that I was damn near dead. And
Me
that
too.
was my goal. And now my
Me too.
goal is I want to be alive. I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean?
So much. I so connect to that.
I think,
Um,
I think a lot of people get really afraid though, especially when they're first getting sober. And I know for some people that strictness at the beginning is important to like kind of keep them away from trying anything new or doing
well,
anything they shouldn't. You know what I mean?
I also, yeah, of course, I also try to separate people. Like, there are people that are only submitting to the authority to get sober, so they're putting on this facade, and they're trying to figure out every way that they can get to manipulate the program. There are those people. There are people there to get out of jail free, and then there are people that are actually searching for recovery. So, and to those people, I say, just be the guardian at your gate and understand that their beliefs do not have to become your own. You can believe that you can get. What are you? I always ask, what are you recovering?
What am I
What are
recover?
you recovering?
I mean,
You
I
know what I
got
mean? That's what I
everything
ask
back.
people when they enter in recovery. I'm like, well, what are you recovering? What did you to like the big book says? Um, First off, the second step says that, to restore us to sanity. That
Sanity,
that
yeah.
implies that we had to be insane. So I'm addicted and insane.
I was
That
though.
implies you had to
I
be
think I
insane.
kind
I
of
mean,
was insane.
I agree. Me too.
You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. Like I do kind of subscribe to what you're saying. Like, because I've had experiences. It might be not to the greatest power as you have, but I've had the experience of changing the way I think, focusing on not calling myself a drug addict, not like I don't know,
Hey,
just
Rhonda
not
Joe.
beating myself down and starting to beat myself up like for good things. And I've seen how it changed my life. You know what I mean?
Me too.
And I wasn't
Agreed.
taught that by my sponsor. I was
Exactly. Or anybody in the program,
yeah,
right?
I was strictly, for me, a lot of it was like shame. Oh, you didn't go to 3 meetings this week. Did you relapse? And that kind
Me
of
too.
thing. I hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah.
I hated missing a meeting and going to my home group and then everybody looking back at me and being like, "Oh, you haven't been at 3 meetings this week? Are you getting high?"
So yes, or also in co-create one. I mean, not co-create, and celebrate recovery. I used to lead worship for them, and it would be, in order to give your testimony and celebrate recovery, you have to give all of the credit to the program.
Right.
Is that not fucked up? I'm like, I can't say how good it is that I've done all the work to get me sober.
Right.
Like, all praise be to Jesus, right?
Right.
No,
Right.
I did the work.
And I believe that a
Uh,
lot of people they don't give themselves enough credit. I know a lot of people who are like that, and
yeah.
they don't think that they did anything. They think that like God came out of the sky and plucked them out of their addiction and put them
Right. I
into
see those
recovery.
comments. They're like, yeah, I owe my recovery to Jesus. I'm like,
And it's like, no, you literally worked your ass off, dude.
yeah. And
You know what I
your
mean?
faith, your belief became faith. Faith is action, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You believed it, even though it wasn't true, and it became your reality. That's how it works. The so I guess,
Tell me about these 9 steps, though. I want to know about the
yeah,
nine
dude.
steps.
We're on the look. So back there, like, I'll just start right there.
Is
So
that what it's called?
TikTok
It's
bought
called
the
co-create.
co-create oneness.
Okay, I
Co-create
fucking
one.
like that. That's cool. The little symbol.
TikTok paid for that. I bought that from 99 Designs with money that somebody gifted me from going live on TikTok. I've been going live for the past 2 years. It was to look, doing creates the being. If you want to be a writer and you only write once a month, if you want to be a speaker, and I had no, that's me, and I had no platform. Well, how do you speak? You go
I
live
have
every day
built
in
my
front of an audience.
platforms from the ground up. I have almost 10,000 followers on YouTube. This one right here with 115, another TikTok with 38,000 people on it, Instagram with 13K, and then my Facebook
Can
has
you teach me?
17,000.
Can I learn from you? Can you? Will you
I
be my
am
mentor?
literally, listen to me. That's what I do for a living is I work in social media marketing. And so I've learned how to stay consistent and how to connect with my audience and bring them value and relate to them at the same time, where it's been helping me to build my shit. It took me a
So I'm doing it right then. I reply to every comment. I'm only replying positively. Even when
going
people show me
live.
hate, I say when people show me hate, I say the message is not for you. The
Yeah,
message is not for you.
going live is really important because when you're connecting with them and they can talk to you, like that's how I built my whole following on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't,
got 41,000 followers on this profile right here.
yeah, I would
41,000.
just go live on YouTube and do recovery meetings. And that is how it all started out for me. Then my boss found me and was like, hey, he's very smart when it comes to social media. So then he started teaching me things. And then
Mm-hmm.
now I've been doing the same thing. I stay consistent. I stay to what I believe, and
Mm-hmm.
I try not to get like when I saw everything that was going on with everybody coming over to your account. Damn, dude, it really fucking makes me like, it turns me off from people in recovery that are 12 steppers because I seen all these people like they were jumping on you like a dog pile. And it's like, why?
I well now I'll call it a genius and I'll accept it as something that I've learned and applied. So that's clout.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
understand my genius, I did that on purpose. So there's a trend going around right now called AA is a cult, right? Well, I've been studying this for 2 years. So I was like, well, I have all the proof. So I created that video in order in order to find the people that were gonna bash me so that they could that energy could be shown. That's one of the problems.
yeah,
Also, so I could find the people that agree and say, I'm struggling.
yeah,
So I'm completely disconnected from emotionally. I'm doing it in order to find people that one either agree with what I'm saying and want a different way, or that are struggling inside the program and can't figure out how to recover and are about to choose addiction over recovery. That's why I do it. So it's bigger than me.
yeah. Well, I think what
Well,
you're
look,
doing
Rachel
is pretty
Hilliard right here.
awesome.
She's been my client for 2.5 years, man, and she quit methadone, doing what I'm doing.
That's
So those
awesome.
9 eyelashes on this symbol, that's the 9 steps. And you said you
Okay,
wanted me
tell
to
me
go
about the
through it.
9 steps. I'm sorry. I got
Are you was
kind of,
about to go? You ready to go? It don't
no,
matter. We
no.
can stick around.
I want you to
Okay.
tell me about what,
Cool.
how did
So
you decide? Did you write the 9 steps?
I've spent the last 2.5 years meditating on them and improving upon them. So
Okay.
it used to be the 9 predicates of willpower. Now I've taken that and that's the principles. And the 9 steps come from living those principles along with 9 elements of veracity. So you have 9 predicates of willpower, 9 elements of veracity, and these 9 steps. And together they make up the co-create oneness complete recovery blueprint. Why is it a blueprint? A blueprint can be used to build houses. You don't need a
Yeah.
program. You can take your passion, find a purpose, which your passions are for you. Your purpose is for other people. It's how do you create heaven on earth? A life of service. So you figure out how to have your passion and your purpose and you combine it together. So the first step of the blueprint is we willingly commit to the daily pursuit of our own personal development, mental fortitude, and spiritual growth. The reason it's a mental, spiritual, and physical process. One, but mental fortitude is what an addict needs. You need courage in the face of
What is
adversity.
fortitude? What is mental fortitude? Can you break it down?
Fortitude is courage in the face of adversity.
Okay. Okay, I
So
got that.
mentally, that's what we lack. First off, we misunderstand that the problem is a misuse of dopamine. We've done our drug of choice so much that it's given us dopamine and it's thrown off our body's natural ability to produce the dopamine.
Right.
That's a happiness chemical, a reward chemical. So if that's absent in your life, all you got to do is counterbalance it with more serotonin. How do you have serotonin? Gratitude, appreciating nature, looking at your dog, how cute they are.
I believe that for sure. Gratitude
Yeah,
is like my daily practice. One of the things that I do every morning when I wake up is
me too.
I think of 5 things I'm grateful for. And I think, okay, it could be the sun. It could be my son waking me up early because I was going to sleep past the alarm. It could be
Oh, it's
my
so cute,
car. It could be anything. But every day I try to find a different things that I'm grateful for. Not the same thing as yesterday,
dude.
a
I know,
different
me
thing,
too. Yeah,
you know?
me too. 5 things too. That's crazy.
And
That's cool.
when I tell you that I almost feel like I'm overly grateful sometimes because I'm so thankful and grateful that I was able to get my son back, that my mom and dad actually want me to be in their lives because my parents moved to a whole nother state, dude, because I was killing
Yeah,
myself and my dad was going to have a heart attack. He couldn't watch me anymore. You know, he couldn't see me doing what I was doing to myself. And so it was a miracle that my parents even want to be around me, you know, or that I'm even able to put together sentences because I was in a
yeah,
coma, dude. I fucked
really.
myself off. Like I would get so fucking high on meth, I would hallucinate and I would go into psychosis and I would talk and see things that were not there. And
Me too.
I would stay in that. Like I wouldn't
Me
come
too.
out of it. It was almost like I was becoming my reality was what I was seeing and what I was hearing.
Yeah,
So,
and
so
there
it's a
was, yeah.
miracle that
Look, I
I'm
used to
able
think.
to fucking
I,
write my name on a piece of paper,
Yeah,
like real
man,
talk.
I used to think the TV was talking to me. That, especially because my name's so common, and all these fucking sitcoms say Dan and Danny, and I'm
Yeah,
like, and I would be high as a motherfucker, and I'd be like, "Did you hear that?" It's
I
crazy.
totally understand. But one time, I was with this guy, and we did some God, what was that shit called? It's not kratom. It's like an herb that some people smoke, but it's like salvia,
Yeah,
salvia. And,
or Spice. Yeah, I was about to say Spice. Yeah,
and we saw Kelsey Grammer coming out of the TV and like talking to us. Like it was the scariest shit I've ever been through in my
I
whole
willed
entire
my
life.
life away. I willed all my guitar. I was like, "You can have my guitar. Just tell my dad I love him." And I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was. And so gratitude for me when I first got sober, it was hard because I was so scared I wasn't going to get my son back. So I was focused on I was so hyper focused on getting my kid back that they cut me off of benzos cold turkey. I could have fucking died, dude. And I just kept on going. You know what I mean? Because I was like, there's no way anybody is going to keep me from my son. I will literally turn Arkansas upside down. Like I was fighting for my son's life, and my husband's life. And
yeah,
so I was so focused on that. That was all I had. That's all I could do was focus on getting my kid back, getting my kid back. But then once I got him back, that's when I started to find gratitude in everything that I
yeah.
did. You know what I mean?
Too.
Everything.
Yeah, it's the suffering. Look, the suffering is the pathway. It's the path. Look, I use this analogy all the time because it absolutely it made my fireworks go off in my head. The stars, it only shines at night, right? They don't shine during the day. It has to be dark. Also, with that, winter, spring,
Winter,
summer,
spring,
fall.
summer, fall,
Okay,
winter.
but you got to think winter during the summer, and that's important for an addict. You can't fucking think summer all summer. You can't think with your money. I'm telling you, addicts need to focus. That's why I teach a will of life. Do I have the paper? I don't have it with me. The paper
That's
I teach is a
awesome.
will of life. So the 9 predicates of willpower. I have content on there, but the will of life shows you how to judge yourself where you are and where you want to be. With that, that gives you leverage to know, all right, I need to try in this area. I need to put a lot of effort into personal development or finances or career or romance. Any area that's most important to you.
What I'm putting focus on now in my life is my health. So when I
Me too.
first got sober, I don't. This is what I try to teach other people. Don't make the same mistakes I did. When I got sober, my addiction crossed over to food, which it had already been that before I ever picked up drink or a drug. I was a
Okay.
food addict, a sugar addict. And so when I got sober, I didn't focus on anything else except for staying sober. And so food totally took over my life. And so now, 7 years later, I'm like, shit, man, I don't want to be like this. I'm not happy where I'm at. I want to feel better about myself. I want to get up in the morning and be happy to see the person that I'm looking at in the mirror. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
that's what I'm focusing on now. But I try to so hard to let people that are coming into recovery that are new to establish healthy things that you do in your life. Don't do like I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get you a workout routine, get you a meditation, yoga, all these
Yes.
things that you
Yes.
can go do, because your body, if your body feels good and if you're healthy in your body, then your mind is going to be feeling good, and it all goes together. I was
Yes.
dragging my body behind. I was working on my mind and I was dragging myself trying to keep
Oh,
up,
I feel
you know.
that. I feel that. Yeah.
And it's
I
hard,
feel that.
especially as a mom. My son's not my
Because
only
you need
child,
that
and so
energy as a mom, huh? Yeah.
I was going through this change where I'm like, I'm a new mom. I don't know how to be a mom. The only way I've ever been at anything is high. And so it's so hard, especially for women. How
For sure.
do you work with women? And when you work with them, is it
Yes.
different how you work with them?
So here's how I work. I have a WhatsApp group, a Facebook group, and a Discord. And the WhatsApp group is where we're at. There's 60 of us. We're a really tight, close family. And the rules inside the WhatsApp group, it's for group coaching, it's for community. But if you've experienced a bad day, you put it in the group, and the people inside the collective, if they've overcome the adversity, they share. If you haven't, you don't share. You just encourage and compliment. If you have a really good idea or a goal that you set, and you know that if you don't tell anyone, then no one's going to know you had this goal, and so no one's going to hold you accountable. You put it in the group, and we ask about it, and we keep you accountable. And then if you celebrate, if you have a really good milestone that you achieve, or if you go through something that you want to celebrate, you put it in the group, and we celebrate with you. And what this does is it replaces your body's ability to create dopamine. So seriously, the collective is where it's at. All the healing comes from coming in and knowing, you and your friends, y'all interact a certain way. It's subconscious. The way that you react to traffic, the way that you respond to a bad day, it's all subconscious. So if you want truth and transparency, you get it by joining a community of people whose sole focus is personal growth and development. All we care about is getting better day by day, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And that's where it's at. So that's
How
what
do
I
you
do.
not how do you not have any drama or anything? Because I've had little groups like that, and in my experience, Lord have mercy, like you get your bad apples who come in there and they try to stir up shit. They're fucking trying
The
to fuck
rules.
each other, take
It's
each
it's
other's money.
because of the goal. It's because of the goal. All we do is remind each other why we're here. It's to give and take. And so knowing that if what you're saying is going to take from someone, it's like I've done it before. I've been typing a message to like give somebody a coaching, but realize, hey, that's more of a one-on-one thing. I don't need, and because you're always thinking of the collective. Is this going to help the person you're typing to? Is this going to make the other person feel good? You give what you want back in return.
So you just keep it super like positive in there. And so
Yeah,
none of that
it's
other
nothing
stuff
but
is
positive.
allowed. Like you're not allowed to be in there like fighting or
No,
being negative.
not. And if you do, you get
Okay,
kicked
I
out.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand. I had more of like a little group of people and we were all fucking talking shit and gossiping and shit like that.
No, no, no. Yeah, I get that. I get that too. My message is neuroscience. Words create reality. Why? Because they determine how you feel and act. You will always think, you will always feel and behave the way that you think and speak. So if it's I'm powerless or I'm addicted, you're that. But if it's I'm recovered and I'm not addicted, you're that.
Yeah. And I believe that. Like I truly 100% believe that. That's why I didn't understand why people were getting so upset with you, because if they really sat back and like listened to what you're saying, they believe this. They believe that too. We all believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For
I mean,
sure. Like who doesn't want to wake up to their power? That's what I say. I look, our motto is we are powerless. I mean, fuck, what did I fuck it up for? We are
powerful.
powerful.
Yeah.
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 And I got a shirt too. I wish I would heard it come in the mail. I was gonna wear it tonight. I was hoping
When
it
I
would come.
was when I I'll say when I was working the steps, this is the way it was explained to me: is that Nicole, you're not powerless right now. You're powerless when you are putting drugs and alcohol in your body because my brain and my body doesn't metabolize them the same way a normal
Ooh,
person's does, right?
I like
And
that.
so that's the way my sponsor explained it to me: is that you're not powerless now. You got the power. I can make good choices today. You know what
But
I mean?
also, I want to point this out. I understand that. I connect to that.
Yeah.
But also, I want you to understand what big pharma is and what they do. And it's already do the research. There's already cures for cancer. They're just not advertised, and there's already healing modalities to come overcome these. But why treat something? Why cure something you can treat? That's what it
Right.
is. It keeps you in the mindset that you need this meeting for the rest of your life, and that way you'll go and donate money to the program, and you'll buy more books, and you'll bring more newcomers, and it's a cycle. It's a money
I do
cycle. Period.
understand because you're right. Like all treatment centers are all hooked up to the AA or
It is.
excuse me, AA or NA. Even the prisons are. The
Yep.
prisons, churches, like everything is connected to that, you know? And so that's why it's so hard when you come in with something new to share. That's why it's so hard to break through because there's this other guy I follow. His name is Cody, and he
Uh-huh.
says some really good stuff. You know who I'm talking about, don't you?
Maybe.
He has a
What's his tagline?
huge following, huge following. He
Okay.
teaches people the one shot method.
Okay.
I don't know
What's that?
what it is, but
Oh,
basically he is teaching people that they can have power over alcohol. Like he has alcohol in his refrigerator because he has roommates and he's like, it doesn't bother me. I don't drink it because I'm not I'm not addicted. I'm not powerless over alcohol anymore. Y'all would probably get along really well. Y'all would have similar.
can you send me a message with his tagline? With
Yeah,
his tag
he
name?
has like
Sure.
almost 1 million followers here on TikTok.
Okay,
And
please,
he
will you please try and connect us, please?
Yeah,
I'm asking you,
I'll
please.
connect you. And he does like when you watch him, he goes and he does his workouts. He does like hella ninja shit. Like he is like really fit. He drinks lots of fucking
I'm not trying to do this alone. I know I need people better than me, so I'm open.
he
I'm
has
trying to learn
already
from someone.
created a program that he has created, and it's like a program that people can join and sign on to and pay for online, and that it's a recovery program, and he's legit been doing it for like as long as I have been on TikTok, like three and a half years. So
I need
that's
it.
what
I
I
need to
want to
talk to
get
him.
to. I want to get to a place one day where I have like my own website and it says, you know, like here,
You
Nicole,
will.
you can click here if you want to connect with Nicole and da 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 da. But the only thing that keeps me from going further with that, I got stunted is because people on here are so negative. Like I started getting reached out to by sober brands like that were like, "Hey Nicole, if you make a video for us, we'll pay you $500 for a 30-second video to talk about our sober app." And I'm like, okay, I'm in. And
I
I
got
did
that
it.
with somebody on LinkedIn.
And people were so mad, like, oh my God, you're getting, yeah, like this is a job. You don't understand that social media is a full time job, you
Yeah,
know? And
for
so
sure.
just because we're in recovery doesn't mean that we shouldn't be paid for our services, doesn't mean that we
Right.
shouldn't be uh,
Exactly.
when I'm talking
Time is
about
not free.
something, and
Yeah.
I'll only talk about something if I really believe in it. I'm never going to be on here like trying to get over on
What I
people.
want people to understand is anybody with a resentment on someone that's trying to charge money for services has a resentment for money, and they will always live in poverty. And that's just truth. If you resent someone else for trying to charge money for a service where they provide value, that's resentment. And you can never have your own abundance or your own success while you resent other people. Period.
Right, right. And that's what I have learned from this other friend of mine. He's like an investor and he has like he knows a lot about money and he told me he says you're not going to get anywhere, Nicole, by giving people everything away for free. Like you
Me,
need to charge people what you're worth, and people don't respect you when you're like, "Oh yeah, here I'll just." People will take advantage of you, and that's
for
exactly what
sure.
has happened. Is people will suck you dry until you don't have nothing else to give. That's been my
I know it.
experience, personal
I know it.
experience, you know?
Me too. Me too. I've tried. Look, I've had opportunities to have paid clients, and then uh, just I don't even want to get into it.
You
Like for
also
real,
need
I
to
feel you.
connect with, let me tell you about this other lady. I got connections. You also need to connect with this lady. Her name is um, Estes, Callie Estes, the
Okay.
Addictions Academy. Okay. She is a
You're gonna send
celebrity.
it to me, or I need to write it down.
I'll send it to you. She's
Okay.
a celebrity recovery coach. She
Uh huh.
literally coaches people who are fucking NFL players, fucking movie stars. And she has a program where she teaches you how to be a coach, an interventionist, and all that. And you get your certification. And yeah,
What?
it's pretty cool. And that's what
Let
she's
me
been
see. What
doing.
is it? What is it called? Cali what?
Her name is Callie, Cali Estes, Estes.
Okay. Okay.
She's here on TikTok and she's on Facebook, and her company is called the Addictions Academy. And she's really smart. And she's really smart. You'll see a lot of people that I have been able to connect with in the recovery world have been since I started in 2016 sharing my story, and I slowly but surely made my way into connecting with people who work at this place, who work at that place. Then I got my job working for my Dr. B, and he's like an addiction specialist, a medical doctor, ER doctor, and he's like so amazing. And he has taught me a lot too. Like he took me under his wing and kind of mentored me and taught me.
I'm ready
And
for a
so
mentor. I
that's
want
what
one
I
so bad.
needed, was somebody to help me see that I was worth it, because I was always trying to
Yeah.
say, well, I have a big heart and I don't want to I don't want to put anybody in a bind, and I don't want anybody to not be able to do something. So I was always like going back on what I truly believed I should be doing, which is my coaching, recovery coaching. And I was always like,
Yeah.
never mind, I'll do it for you for free. And then when Dr. B came along, they started teaching me. They're like, listen, you're providing value and a service to people's lives. Like, you should
Exactly.
charge for that. You know what I mean? I mean, a
Exactly.
personal trainer doesn't tell you, hey, I'm going to get you in shape and you're
Yeah.
going to lose
I
all this
just
weight.
interviewed Sam Harris. I mean Sam Davis. You know Sam Davis?
Who's that?
Oh, he's an interventionist too. He's an intervention on call on TikTok.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, is he country?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
He
really
always in
like
front of the
him.
big truck. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked him because the other day when he made a video about Suboxone, the way he talked about
Me
it
too.
was very respectful. It was kind. Because here's the thing, I believe that some people they need to be on medicine, and that's just what it is. Some people don't have the mental capacity to change, right? Or their mental
Nor
illness.
the desire to want to. They
Right.
want to be in some kind of comfort. My mom's that way. She wants to be comfortable. She doesn't want to grow. She likes her life the way it is. Don't fuck with her. Let her have her shit
Yeah.
and live
Yeah.
her life.
And I totally understand that. Stability. And that's what I respect that, because I was the same way for a long time. Like, I just wanted to be where I was at. I didn't want to move
Yeah.
up any higher. I didn't want to. And now, but what has happened though, when I got my job with Dr. B, and then I started seeing, like, wait a second, I do want to go up higher. I'm capable of this. And it was because
Yeah.
I had gotten so down on myself in active addiction that I didn't believe that I was capable of any of these things, even though I knew from a young age I'm a badass worker. My work ethic
Right.
is
Me
fucking
too.
amazing. I'm always
Yeah.
getting promoted at any job I get. But I forgot that with my addiction, took that all away from me because I had gotten so down on myself, such low self esteem, you
Yeah.
know?
Me too.
And
Me too.
so that's why I'm still building my self esteem up now. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm
Every
not the
day.
most confident person, I'm
Oh,
still
I can help
building
with that.
myself up.
You are what you do every day. Confidence comes from what you do every day. So if you want more confidence, you just got to do what you want to be confident at more often, and
Right.
you'll find the confidence.
Listen to me. I'm really glad you came on and hung out with me tonight. Like,
Me too.
I can help you if I will help you any way you would like me to help you, to connect you with other
Ditto.
people in the recovery community that you can. And what you should do is you need to be reaching out to people and saying, hey, like,
I,
we might have a difference of opinion. Let's do a live like we just did and talk about it.
on
Because
debate.
yeah, I bet you $500 that some of these people, that if they could just get on the camera with you and that y'all start going back and forth, then they're going to see what you're talking about and say, you know what, never mind. I do kind of agree with what you're saying.
I agree.
I think that would
Thank you for
also
telling me
be
that.
uh, make people want to watch. Okay. So you also have to like feed off of people's like need for drama and chaos. And so if
I
you have
stopped. I
somebody,
stopped. I've only blocked 3 people, so I only blocked 3 people, and it's because they were getting really, 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 really hateful.
yeah,
And so,
if you have
but I
somebody
agree.
that,
I noticed that. I noticed everybody duetting my videos in anger, and I'm like, all right, yep, it's
yes, that's,
working.
and that's what a lot of people on TikTok, they don't understand that. And I always tell them, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. You're literally sharing their shits. You know what I mean? And that's what, I mean, it doesn't matter. You need to link up with somebody,
That's exactly why I
who
posted
has
it.
a totally different opinion than you do and ask them, hey, you got a different opinion than I do. You're very strong in your beliefs. Let's go live and
Yeah.
talk about it. You know what I mean?
No, I'm gonna do that. That's a
And
must.
you do
Thank you.
know that this live stream that we're on right now, you can download it. You know that.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it. That's why I
Okay.
asked you if I could do it, use it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine. And put
it's
it
good
on your
content.
YouTube channel or wherever you want to put it. That's what I do.
Fuck yeah, help me
I
out. Yeah,
I repurpose all of my content. So like if you're posting videos on TikTok, you need to be repurposing those videos onto Instagram Reels and
I do.
Facebook Reels, okay?
I
And
do.
you need to make sure that you take the watermark off of them because Instagram and
How do you do
Facebook
that?
don't
Can you
like
do
that.
that in Splice? I got the
I
Splice app. That's
use
where I'll do it.
the Snap Tick app and I just put the
Oh,
link there and it takes it right off.
okay.
But
Okay.
and Instagram
Snap it.
Reels and Facebook Reels are paying right now. You know that, right?
Uh-uh.
My friend made $1,200 off Facebook Reels, dude.
Oh, I'm gonna start posting all my content. Are they timed? 60-minute max?
They're
60
30 to
second max?
60 seconds, 30 to 60-second videos.
Okay.
And when you go on
Okay.
Facebook, it'll say bonuses and it'll say whether you're eligible or not. After a little bit, you'll become eligible and then you will get paid for your reels. Same thing on Instagram.
Cool,
It'll say
dude. I'll start doing
bonuses.
it immediately.
Yeah.
Cool.
So anyway,
Will
that's,
you
go ahead.
go ahead?
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, could you, so you're gonna repurpose this to your YouTube? Could you link to my YouTube and your YouTube and all my stuff?
Yeah, you
Awesome.
just send me the link.
Yeah, I sure will.
I'll
Cool.
link all your stuff, and then I'll
Okay.
also link it on my community tab, so I can like at you on my community tab, and you'll see like a lot of the people that we have built the community with on YouTube, they'll love your stuff. Like they're amazing. The amazing community that I have. We are like
Cool.
we all are
I knew
trying
it.
to learn. You know what I mean? Like nobody's
Mhm.
like oh, that's the only way to do it. Like I feel like because I changed, because I used to be very very strict, 12 steps, it's the only way. If you don't do it,
Yeah.
you're going to die. And that's how I started out. I would come on my account and I would preach to people and I would come at them from a place of I'm up here. What I
Yeah.
realized after about 2 years of doing that is that I was pushing more people away than I was helping. And I was like, I've got to reevaluate the way I'm delivering this because people are
Wow.
not hearing me. And so that's when I rewound and I changed everything up. And that's when I started looking into different pathways to recovery. And I was like, you know what? I'm not that's not what I believe. And that's when I changed my delivery. That's when all my whole life changed. I got to go on a
Dude.
damn talk show on fucking
Oh shit.
the Tamron Hall show on fucking NBC, ABC or whatever, where I got to talk about cross addiction. I got another fucking
Oh, dude,
guy
that's so awesome.
had me on his channel and he has like a million. I mean, it was just like all these opportunities started coming out because people were like, wow, I can talk to her because I was setting myself up to be unapproachable. And that's what I don't think a lot of people in these 12 step fellowships understand is that they make themselves unapproachable. It feels like they have a gate around them of, I'm too good for you. You're not doing it my way. And that's what we need to do is meet people that struggle with addiction where they are at. So if that's what I always tell people in my lives, if you're not in recovery, if you're not sober, if you're still getting high, if you don't ever want to get sober, it's okay. Come hang out with us because this is exactly where you need to be, kicking it with us. Like, I don't care if you don't want to get sober, if you still want to get high. I want you to come hang out with us. I'm never going to look down on you for using drugs. Like, I totally understand, you know?
Yeah, I feel that.
So,
I
okay,
should
I'll
do that.
talk forever. I'll keep you on here all night
Me too.
long. So,
Me too. Me too. Yeah, my mom's hungry, so I'm looking for an exit.
Okay, I love
but
you, man.
but
I'll
I
send
also
you.
want to do this. I want to do it again. Like I love it. We make a good team too.
We
I
can
think.
set up like a weekly date, but what I'll do right now is I'm going to message you. You send me all your links, and then I'll get all
Okay,
that stuff taken care of. Okay. Thank you so
sounds
much for
good.
coming on.
Oh, thank you so much for doing this.
You're
God bless.
welcome. See you
See ya.
later.
See ya.
Okay, guys. So, what did y'all think? What did y'all think? So, um, I really think what he has to say makes a lot of fucking sense. And that's why I wanted him to come on here, because I felt like a lot of people who were listening and hearing his message were misconstruing what he was meaning and what he was saying. What he's saying is that, our words have power, and what we speak out into the world is what we can become. And so I totally love it. Like I believe that I should say, I'm Nicole. I'm a person in recovery. I don't need to say I'm Nicole and I'm an addict, because I'm not an addict anymore. I'm a person in recovery. I have changed. I am moving away from that old me, and I'm becoming the new me. You know what I mean? And so I can get behind that. I also don't like the word addict anyway, because like I told you guys, it's super stigmatizing. Like when you think about when you hear the word addict, you think about, like I said, somebody underneath a bridge with a bottle and a needle hanging out of their arm. And that's just not, like, well, that's not what I'm doing anymore, you know? And so, excuse me, I really, really think what he has to say makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't understand all the science behind it. He's like super smart with all that stuff. But I can understand that if I'm talking down and I'm telling myself I'm not going to be able to recover, I'm going to have this disease for the rest of my life, I'm going to die, I'm going to, I can only do it this way, then that's going to keep me stunted, right? Stunted. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep growing and growing and growing. That is why about 4 years into my sobriety, that's why I started questioning all the things that I was learning. You know what I mean? I was learning all these things and that my life was not aligning with anymore, and so, yeah, so I think his what he has to say makes a lot of sense, and I really think it's amazing, and I totally support it. I support, like, starting your own program or something. I know a lot of people have tried to do it. I couldn't do it, because I don't have a lot of that focus to do that, but I think it's amazing, and I liked what he had to say, and I respect what he has to say, because obviously it's working for him. He's in shape. He's been sober. He's got a roof over his head. He's making good money. He's obviously, what he's doing is working. You know what I'm saying? It would be different if he was up here like trying to teach us something and he was like a hot mess express. You know what I mean? But it's working, and so I can get down with that. I totally think that's awesome. Um, I'm always looking for like new programs and new ways to recover, because like I said, I was raised up in the 12-step fellowship for many, many years. Do I love the 12 steps? Yes. Do I like the fellowship? Not so much. Not so much. That's just the real talk. I just, I don't know. I just feel like, for me, it was just like I was being held back. Now I feel like I have all these different options and I can try all these new things. It's kind of like I just grew out of it. That's what it was. I grew out of that. And so now I'm trying different things. And I love learning about different forms of recovery. And so I am going to start looking into that one guy that I was saying, that Cody guy. So there's this guy here on TikTok. His name is Cody, and everybody hates him, okay, because he talks about a different way to recover, which I think is so crazy that people, when they see something that's different, that doesn't align with what they believe is the right way, how all of you just jumped on this fucking, hey, let's all go attack this one person who's just trying to share what has worked for them for the last 2 or 3 years, I understand. I used to be the same way. I used to jump on people and attack them too. And then I learned that that wasn't helping anybody, so when somebody doesn't agree with the 12-step program, I don't understand why people get so mad. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't get help through the 12 steps. If they did, and if they were so amazing, then we would have, like, a lot of more people would be sober. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I know for me, I was in and out of the 12-step program for over 10 years, relapse, 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 relapse. And so it was never ever offered to me any other way. You know what I mean? And so if we have options now that we do, thank goodness, we have options that we can offer people different ways to recover, like MAT, um, plant medicine, psychedelics, ketamine infusion. Like, I think that's amazing, dude. I think that's amazing. I support 100% support that. If you had asked me when I was first getting sober, the first 2 or 3 years, I would have been like, no mind or mood altering substance. Bah, 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 bah. And now I don't believe like that at all. I believe that people can benefit. Okay, like there's people that are trying microdosing, and they are having great results with relieving treatment resistant depression. Okay, same thing with ketamine. And if you had asked me that when I was first getting sober, I would have been like, no, that's horrible, you shouldn't do that, blah blah blah. So I think that, like he said, when we speak things and we say, like, I can't do that, or this, that, or the third, then we're not going to be able to do it. I was like that for a long time with, like, going around people that were like drinking. Okay, I was like, I can't go around anybody that's drinking. If I do, I'm going to relapse, blah 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 blah. Guess what? Now I don't believe that. I'm not going to relapse. Like, I don't want to drink or drug. I don't want to do that. So as long as I don't want to do that, as long as I'm, like, strong in my conviction and my sobriety, then I can do anything I put my mind to. I could fucking go walk into a crack house right now and be like, yeah, I don't want no crack, and then leave. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we stunt ourselves into believing that we can't handle challenges in life. Now, don't get me wrong. Am I telling you guys you all need to go into a crack house and go see if you can stay sober? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, the idea of it, like, we limit ourselves by saying these things. And so when we open ourselves up and we realize that we are capable of doing anything, just like I have been recently looking at myself and saying, I'm capable of getting healthy. I'm capable of losing this weight. I know I can. I've done it before. You know what I mean? Just like I'm capable of getting sober and changing my life. Like, just like I'm capable of being an amazing mother. I think it's really easy to, like I said, limit yourself, put yourself into one little box, and because that box is comfortable, because nobody else has challenged that box, you just sit in that same box for a really long time. And so anyway, I just want to do more, and I want to experience more, and so that's what I'm doing. But don't get me wrong, like I said, I love the steps. I still work the steps in my life today. I still do my inventory every evening to see if I hurt anyone or if I need to apologize to anybody. Like, those things help me in my life. That I took what helps me from the program and I use it in my everyday life. You know what I mean? So anyways, I like that live. I know a lot of you guys might not agree, but give it a couple of years, you'll open your heart and mind just like I did, because for a long time I was the same way. I was very, very one way. Okay. Like, I can remember making YouTube videos and crying and telling people, like, the only way, if you don't get sober and you don't do the 12 steps, you're going to die. And I was, like, very passionate, and I really believed that. I really believed that people were not going to get sober if they didn't do the 12 steps. You know what I mean? And so I just realized now that there's so many different ways that you can recover. Like, I have friends of mine that they are, like, into working out and meditation, and that's how they stay sober. You know what I mean? I have other friends of mine that, like I said, they were saved by Jesus, and now that's how they stay sober. I have other friends of mine that do harm reduction, and that is, like, their main thing. Harm reduction and service helps them stay sober, And so the more that I kind of look into different pathways, the more I'm interested in trying new things, Hey girl, what's up? Don't be embarrassed. I mean, I don't think it's you should be embarrassed. I think that what happens to a lot of people that are in AA is that we don't remember that Bill W was just a regular person like we are. And that he was an alcoholic, a womanizer, tripping on fucking hallucinogens. And I think people like put him on this pedestal of this like great being that never did anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't even know that. They don't even know that he was doing hallucinogens and that he was cheating on his wife all the time, and they don't even know that. Like if you tell people in the program that, a lot of them don't even know that. So oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that. And those are the people that I come against every single day because I'm on medication assisted treatment. And that is another thing that really helped me to change and want different for myself, is that here I was on medication assisted treatment and sober, recovered, totally changed my life, and the people in these programs were telling me, you're not, you're just as addicted as you were when you were in your active addiction. All this work that I've done on my mind, changing my behaviors, um, everything. Like I literally have taken my brain and rewired it to a different brain, and having people sit there and tell you like all the work that you've been doing for the last 7 years is not, it don't count. And that is one of the main reasons why I was like, you know what? I don't need to be, this is not where I need to be. Like I need to be sharing what works for me and out there and talking about it and letting people know that it's okay. And and letting people know that, what, if being on subs keeps you safe and that is what you want to do for your recovery for the rest of your life, like why would we have an opinion on that? Like why do people feel the need to make other people say things to people to make them feel less than because of them being on subs? And I made a really great video about it like 2 weeks ago where I was talking about, I don't think a lot of people in recovery realize how much their words affect people that are on MAT. I don't think they realize that. A lot of us, it took us a lot to choose to get on MAT. A lot of us were already felt like we were judged, already felt like all the rumors and all the things people say about medication assisted treatment is true, and that we'll just be trading addictions, and that we won't really be in recovery, and that nothing we do will really matter. And a lot of us struggled to just make the decision to save our own fucking lives and get on mat. You know what I mean? And so I don't think people in recovery realize how much people on MAT are like, we want to have acceptance. We want to have support. We want to have love. You know what I mean? Freddie, I mean, I know I can. It's if I want to. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've been off of them for about 2 weeks, and I'll tell you what happened. I have really bad mental illness. Like I have a really hard time with my depression, like really bad, and I went off, and like I said, the withdrawals were not that bad. I handled it. It was fine. But my depression was so bad. Like I constantly was thinking about, like, I was just so, it was not good. I felt very suicidal. You know what I mean? And so I went and talked to my doctor. Yes. And I was like, listen, this is how I'm feeling. And he said, okay, why don't you just take 0.25 of 1 milligram and see if that helps? I started taking 0.25 of 1 milligram. It's literally a sliver, okay? And I started taking that, and it helped my mood. It helped elevate my everything. And I was like, if I need to take this little itty bitty microscopic sliver of medication and it helps me with my depression, I'll do that for the rest of my life, because I haven't been able to find anything that helps me with my mental health. Most doctors will not treat me for ADD and help me with all the things that I struggle with, because I have a past history of addiction. Hey, April. And so, being on that little itty bitty piece, dude, like when I tell you guys, it's such a small piece that, like, it's just so tiny. It's just so tiny. Did you ever decide to stay on them? I know a while ago you were weaning off. Yeah, so I got back on that little sliver, and that's where I've been for the last since January. Since January, and it's been working for me. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of people would say, "Well, why don't you just get off of that? You're just taking the easy way out." And to them, this is what I say. Okay, to them, I say, like, I don't understand what people don't get about people are all different, and some people have mental illnesses that will prohibit them from being able to do anything like that, you know? Yeah, some people, like, that's a mental illness, you know what I mean? Like, and so I was the same way. Like, I have severe depression to the point where, like, during the winter time, I was crying every single day, dude. I was barely getting out of bed. The only reason why I was getting out of bed is because I know I have to be a mom, you know? And then I can't even be a good mom because I'm so fucking depressed all the time. I have no energy, no motivation. I feel like fucking dog shit, and I'm sober. Like, what the fuck? And that was another thing that was really fucking with me. I'm like, dude, I'm sober. I'm not shooting dope anymore. I'm not shooting meth anymore. And I feel like shit all the time, you know? So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our little discussion tonight. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to try and learn more about the brain and what he was talking about, how it affects our, you know, what we do in our life and our decisions and all that. What I'm going to do is, it's 8:15, okay? In 45 minutes, I'm going on Tiffany's channel to share my story. So let me show y'all her account, so that way if you want to come, you can come. I don't know, Kels. I haven't picked my son hasn't drawn the winner yet. But my son is going to pick it out. Let me find her account so y'all can see. I haven't even let him do that yet. But he's going to do that for me. Tiffany. Okay. Hey, Cassie. Okay, so I'm trying to find her account, dude. So her name is Tiffany. Oh, there it is. Tiff Recover Loudly. Here she is. So I'm going to go on her channel tonight and share my story. Bada bing, bada boom. There she is. If y'all want to come listen, you better bring some tissues, because I will have you crying. I will have you crying. So if you come, make sure you bring a tissue. Hey, Frankie, how did that go? Did you just get on the Sublocade shot? See, so I would love to be able to do that. But because I was on such a little amount, yeah, it's TikTok. It's tiff.recovering.loudly. Because I was on such a low amount, the doctor wouldn't let me do Sublocade. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. Are you still getting the shots, or are you just stopped? See, I think that's amazing for people. Amazing. I think so many people are going to be able to wean off of subs because of that medication. I'm super happy. Like, I'm so proud of you. And, like, for instance, being on Sublocade, like, I believe you are 100% sober. I believe your recovery is 100% valid. Like, I absolutely support that, you know? Yeah, so the first time that I ever heard about medication-assisted treatment helping with depression was when I found Dr. B on YouTube, and he had made a video about it. And I was like, damn, dude, like, really? And so, yeah, I believe that for some people it does help. For some people it doesn't, but everybody's different. So, anyway, if y'all want to come tonight, it's going to be Tiff Recovering Loudly. I'm going to get off here, go get me another thing of water, and chill out for a second. And that'll be at 9 o'clock. So it's 8:17 right now. So if y'all want to join, it'll be at 9 o'clock over on her account, okay? In 45 minutes over on Tiff Recovering Loudly. I'll make a video about it real fast, okay? All right. Love you guys. See you there.